Dear brothers and sisters all across the world, our religions have divided us. Religious war has claimed millions of our lives, turned millions of us homeless, and created the biggest enmity among mankind. Many of us will be surprised by what we're about to hear, but it is very important we refer to these things if truly we all want to restore the peace that we have lost in our world. The Chinese have been existing 2070 years before Christ. The first history of Japan was told 10 years before Christ. The Koreans have been existing 2,333 years before Christ. The history of the Indians is dated to as far back as 3,300 years before Christ. Jesus, peace be upon him, was born on AD 1, meaning Anno Domini, which means the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, and died on AD 30 or 33, as history has it. Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born on 570 CE in the Common Era, that was 570 years after Christ, and died in 632 CE. Now, these are the big questions most of us fail to ask. Question 1. Is there any proof to say that for all the thousands of years the Asians and the Indians have been existing before Christ, they never heard about God, and God has just left them to exist? Question 2. How come the Quran, the Bible, and every other scripture that is sourced from the Jewish and the Arab nations never mentioned anything about the Asians and the Indians? The history of mankind as narrated in these books only covered the Jewish and the Arab nations. Question 3. Let us agree that the whites and the blacks are truly generations of Adam and Eve, probably because of our looks. But why did the Quran and the Bible not explain where the Chinese, the Japanese, the Koreans, and the Indians come from? Question 4. How come the religions that claim to be the most holy religions in our world and to have generated from the two sons of the same father, Father Abraham, are the most divided religions, causing unrest and hatred among themselves and the rest of our world? This is the truth. The Christians are Christians because they have faith in a certain prophet and book. The Muslims are Muslims because they believe in a particular prophet and book. A Jew is a Jew because he or she also believes in his or her own religion. The Buddhists are Buddhists because they solely believe in their own way of worship. And so is every religion. But make no mistake, there is no evidence to support that God intends a single religion for the whole world, or that God intends to grant paradise to a particular religion. But it is reasonable enough to say that every man and every woman shall be judged according to his or her own faith. This is my belief. The world will become a peaceful place if we can grant freedom of religion to all. After all, life's only certainty is death. The Jews will die, the Christians will die, the Muslims will die, the Buddhists will die, and so will every human being. But the judgment will not be done by any of us. Your response there, brothers and sisters, what do you say? Do you still think it's worth killing ourselves for religion? Or would you join us to embrace peace among mankind and make our world a better place? This is a clear message. We all need to unite for greater good if we truly want peace. It is time to stop giving in to religion's fight. It is time to stop following misleading religious leaders. It is time to look at each other through the common thread of humanity, disregarding all religious differences. Let us create a culture that encourages peaceful marital relationships. A Muslim husband and a Christian wife can both live peacefully if they allow religious freedom in their relationship and also free their children to choose the religion they wish to practice, because only God can guide. If anyone tells you to wear bomb and kill your Christian neighbors, tell him to wear it and bomb on his own, since he claims to be going to heaven. If anyone tells you to hate your Muslim friends, tell him you are not the one to judge them when they die. If anyone promises you heaven for killing another, ask him in what city is heaven, as you would like to see it first before you kill someone. Because truly, if a terrorist believes he has a space in heaven, it would be the first to die without having to worry about those going to hell. Open your minds, brothers and sisters all across the world. Please, stop joining those claiming to be fighting holy war. Your country allows freedom of religion, yet you claim to be fighting holy war. That is not holy, but self-interest for personal gains. Let us reject hate speech in our places of worship. Let Christians go to their churches peacefully. Let Muslims go to their mosques peacefully. Let everyone worship what they believe in. Let everyone respect the faith of another. If we happen to find ourselves in other religious communities, let us interact with each other with love, because we are all human beings first, above every other thing. Let us stop forcing people to join our own religion, because if we do not have any personal gain in having big number of followers, then why are we forcing people to join our own religion? Let us leave judgment for God, for He alone will judge each and every one of us. But remember this, too many of us have died already. Too many are displaced. Too many are in abject poverty. And too many are at the corner of death. All this for the differences in our religions. We should stop making our life miserable because of the mystery of creation. Let us embrace peace in our communities. Let us love each other regardless of our religious differences. God bless you all. God bless our world.
And a very good afternoon and welcome to another Sunday. And I say happy Sunday to every one of you from wherever you've joined us, and welcome again to another awareness campaign. My name has not changed. My name is Olayomi Koiki, and I would like to appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope the Sunday is going well according to your plans. A lot of people will always ask me, how soon will a Yoruba nation become reality and not the dreams that a lot of people must have seen it? A lot of people do not have that answer, and neither do I have that answer as well. But what we can say is it will happen if only every one of us is playing their own role. I will continue to play mine in the midst of whatever is happening around us. But one thing is, we should remain focused, because as much as we remain focused, we can defeat the enemy, and then we can prove to them that the atrocity of using the religion to have killed so many people, especially not just only in the northeast, but also down in the southwest, will continue to hold the government accountable for the negligence of unable to provide adequate security for the people back home in Nigeria. In as much as we want to break away from Nigeria, it is still our responsibility and duty to ask those boiling questions. Where is all the money that have been budgeted for the security of the lives of innocent people? Where is the money? And I want you all to take time, as I always say, to look at the topic and let us decide. What are we deciding again today, the 29th of November 2020? We're going to be talking about the Yoruba self-determination, the way forward. What is the way forward? The way forward is part of what we are doing to engage everybody and all the stakeholders, including the international community. We want them to hear it loud and clear that this time around, a nation is about to be birthed. Whether they agree with it or not, at some point, they will not decide for us. We would have to decide ourselves. Because that is what is making a lot of people think that without the power of the United Nations, without the power of the G8, without the power of the world power, Nigeria cannot break. But what we never asked them was, did we take their consent? Ìjà béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn nígbà tí wọ́n fi wá gbé Nàìjíríà tó di pé wọ́n sọ̀kẹ̀ tó mú ẹ̀jẹ̀. Nobody asked. We were where we were until the British came, and the rest is an history. But one thing I can say is, every one of us will play a vital role. And that role is what I am doing now. That role is what you are doing as well. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to get hot. Omar Bono at some point. I have said it. There's nothing to be scared of. The Fulani is not ready to leave power. And everybody knows that. But we are all playing to the Piper tune. Like baby, but they will just wake up one day and they will say, let us break away from Nigeria. So when we are looking at the topic, we remember those that continue to be killed every blessed day. Nigeria at the verge of breakup, part 180. Once again, a very good afternoon and welcome to the show. It will break, whether we like it or not. Whether you dream that Nigeria will not break, it doesn't matter how much you love Nigeria. What you need to remember is every day we are preparing for the breakup of Nigeria. While you are preparing for elections, we are also preparing to break it up. The same way politicians are planning, the same way we are planning as well. But not everything we can tell you. The state of killings in Nigeria. 43 people were just killed like that yesterday. The country should have been on fire, but it is Nigeria. We are too many. 43 lives was lost in one country in one day. Life was in a country. And somebody will say we still have a president. Somebody will say we have a vice president. And you are believing all that nonsense. So when somebody is telling you that we have vice president and we have president, the question you should be asking them is, I hope you are not smoking Indian M. The state of the killing. While we were talking about the 43 people that were killed yesterday and they'll be buried according to the Islamic rite this afternoon. As we were talking about that, another 7 killings and missing of children in Kaduna. So it has now become like a norm to Nigerians because when they hear the killings, it's like, is that not what you would say? So we have no more human feelings. We don't care. It's not our family. So many people will say, how does that concern a Yoruba movement? So many people will say, how does that concern a Yoruba movement? This is where America is different. America wants to protect everybody as much as they can protect, even though sometimes for their own selfish interest. I have now also been able to find and ask some of you that are listening to us and following us, what is our relationship with Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC? Kí ni ìbáṣepọ̀ wa àti OIC? We're live on the show, that's why I'm disconnected. What is our relationship with them? What is our relationship as Nigeria with OIC? Some of you don't even know what OIC is. How powerful is this organization? Who are the members of this organization? When we talk about the OIC, what do you know? What can you share with us today? OIC. Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Thank you very much, Angela. Until we have the first thing in us as human beings, that it doesn't matter even if we want to break away from Nigeria. 43 lives was lost yesterday in one blessed day. And while we were still mourning that, 7 people were also killed and missing children. And you can see that Nigeria can no longer take care of its children. Do you know that the Organization of Islamic Cooperation is the second biggest organization after United Nations? Do you know that? Who are the members of this organization? What is their agenda? What is their purpose? Everything has a purpose. My own purpose every day is to break Nigeria. It doesn't matter whether you want to keep Nigeria. It doesn't matter whether you are thinking of restructuring. It doesn't matter whether you are looking for youth to take over the power. My role, my agenda every day, it might be different from your own agenda. But what is the agenda of the Organization for Islamic Cooperation? Who are the members? What is the role of Nigeria in this organization? Who was the president that took us into to become a member of this organization called OIC? Who among all the presidents? We're not taking any calls yet. Who among all the presidents register Nigeria as member of OIC? We have become so forgetful that the religion that is meant to be peaceful, it doesn't matter whether you believe in either way. I have told you so many times, in this country, they don't believe in those jack shit. According to them, they call it jack shit. But we respect it, even though some of you will say it's a white man religion. But let us be that way. For those that want to believe it, does that mean that some people, like the Boko Haram, then eliminate more people because they don't believe in that same religion? The question is, what is the agenda of OIC? Once again, a very good afternoon. We are fighting for a Yoruba race. We want to keep our identity. I have said it, 1,000 years from today, a Fulani man will not change for you at all. They are not ready to change. So why should we be together? If a Fulani man believes that, his own intention is to convert everybody to a Muslim, why should we then live with them? If a Fulani man believes that there must be Sharia law in the north, but back in the south, where they are taking the money for alcohol and other things that they can use in the north, but they will not prefer the operation of the same thing in the north because they believe only in the Sharia law. So why should we be together? Why must it be one? A country that is so big that people thought, oh, the biggest in Africa, and that way it cannot take care of people at home. Nigeria cannot take care of its citizens, and they call it the most populous country in Africa. Are we mad? A country that cannot take care of its people, security, zero, welfare, zero, education, zero. Nothing is literally working in the last 60 years. Why have we then been registered under Organization of Islamic Cooperation? What is the purpose? There will not be election in 2023. It doesn't matter how long you want APC or PDP or any of the political party. Our own agenda is we will not have any election inside the southwest of the country. I don't care whether the Biafra or the Hausa or the Niger Delta, they hold election. But we will not hold election. Because election has never worked. Where is the vice president? And where? Whether the dead, the imposter, where is that president? OIC, do you know, is the second most biggest organization after United Nations. That is how powerful it is. Why were we registered inside it? Let's watch the next video. When we say it is time that everyone should start defending their territory, you might think it's a joke. But I advise everybody, the government cannot protect you anymore. It is time now you start putting yourself together in groups and protecting your territory and your community and your street. A king, a first-class Yoruba king, was killed, and everybody has gone quiet. The same day, at 11 o'clock in the morning on Thursday last week, a cleric, a Yoruba man, was also killed. Up to now, nobody knows the killer. The same week, 43 people were killed in Borno and 7 were killed in Kaduna and missing children. And you want us to continue with one Nigeria. Let us watch this video.
Christianity is not idealism. There is nowhere Christians say, fold your hand, they slap you, you turn here. They will kill you, you die and nobody. My friend, you give me, I give you back. When Jesus said, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. He said, in so doing, you are heaping the coal of fire. And he told them, when I send you like anything, he said, no. He said, now, sell your bag, sell your sandal, and buy a sword. For the errand we are is the errand of war. When they beheaded the chairman, what did you do? They show it on air. You can't do anything. You can't do anything. The only thing you can do is to wear black. That's the only thing you can do. Wear black. Bazamu yada, yada, yada. That's the only thing you can do. Speak anything against their faith, they kill you here. Read about this. I'm the same person. Wallahi. Speak against my God. If you say you are, speak against, you can speak against my God, but speak against my God. Machineke. If I no kill you, come a bastard. I'm on air. You better know who I am. Know whether to follow my faith or not. Apostle Paul said, I live for Christ, I dies again. Folding your hand, everything is being possessed, and you are there. Anyway, thank God for my children all over the globe. They know who their prophet is. No. The world today don't know what to do. If the government tell you they know what to do, it's a lie. For government to stretch their hand, I said long ago, I said, what does government have to do to stretch their hand into churches? Stretch their arm of law into church. Bringing Kama in my ministry. You will bring somebody to put at the board of trustee. Then that person should sign his death warrant before entering here. Now, have they not killed it? Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up. They have seen us finish. How can somebody go in a meeting, force of defense, you only speak Hausa language? You do meeting, you finish, and you go. And we are there. Building a runway here from here to Niger. Is your father only Niger? And no idiot can talk. Talk now. Talk. When they arrested anybody being a Christian, you see the Christian will say, hey, now do it. Do they talk? But arrest any uncircumcised person, you will see how they will gather themselves and say, no, we will not agree. Any Christian that raises his voice, the same Christian will say, carry and go into the talk. How you going to build everywhere? Carry and go. A true Muslim will tell you, may God bless you and may we get through you. Whether you like it or not, God cannot bless two people equally. He blesses everyone with different gifts. Through my gift, you will tap. Through your own gift, I will tap. Through your own gift, I will tap. Everybody has the level God has blessed him. If God has blessed me to be a builder, he gave me that. So let me build, you will walk. He gave you knowledge. He gave you wisdom. Maybe he didn't give me anything. So that knowledge you have, you go to university and become a teacher under me that has given the grace to build houses. Common sense. Everybody has the area. Grace varies. My grace is not your grace. Christians, stand up. Christians, stand up. When you see your fellow Christians, help.
Once again, a very good afternoon and welcome to the program. When we say that in a country that you are not allowed to practice your religion, why then are we not thinking of coming out of that same country and look the way forward before more people are killed? We have become selfish, that nobody wants to care, even though we know that the Hausas are also going through their own problems. But we must also remember that the country you call Nigeria does not appreciate lives. These were people that were alive up to yesterday before they were killed. Farmers, just ordinary people, just ordinary human beings, but trying to make maybe their living. But one person does not love that. Whether you call them the bandits, whether you call them the Boko Haram, they came and each one of the 43 was slaughtered like a cow. One after the other. Each one of them slaughtered like that. And these are the people you believe as a Christian, as a Muslim, as a person that does not believe that we should still focus and build a Nigeria that will work for everybody. And you think the same people will still allow you to have that one Nigeria in peace. The question also now is, what is the real agenda behind the OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation? These are the people, fathers, mothers, uncles, sisters, brothers, killed for the negligence of a country that you are still thinking it will work. So when we say, let us come out of Nigeria peacefully, some of you say it's going to be peaceful. I say it's going to be bloody. Tẹ́ bá ń sọ pé ó máa wà peaceful, èmi á máa sọ pé ṣé káwa náà máa prepare pàfẹ́ jà. Tẹ́ bá ń sọ pé ṣé a máa kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà peacefully, I am telling you, you are probably living in a different land entirely. Because these animals, bloodsuckers, they are fighters. These are real fighters that knows what and how it all can happen. Real fighters. You are the one that is scared. These individuals are not scared at all. And it is up to me and you now to think otherwise. If not, These guys that I'm about to show you, they know that Nigeria will become an Islamic country. It's an agenda that has been in the pipeline. But majority of us are still hoping that we can maybe preach and pray to them that please let us live in harmony together. You are telling a Fulani man that you want to live piece by piece with him, whether you are Christian or Muslim or non-believers. Because you think, or assume, you are thinking that they are ready to change. But these individuals does not give a thought about you. Because they are real fighters. And a fighter is ready to take down anything that would disturb them, including myself and you. You think these people, I say they were not shot by gun, they were slaughtered one after the other. And that is the body all been buried according to the Islamic rite. The question now is, who still want us to go for another election in 2023? So that you can change the dimension, so that they can give a Yoruba man the presidency or the Igbo man and then deceive you, so that you can then say, when the Yoruba man is there, he will probably do the right thing. It will stop the Fulani agenda. It will stop the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the second largest organization after United Nations. I'll tell you more on that. Let us break Nigeria now, peacefully. If not, it will end up bloody. But at least we will find out the end result after the whole blood has settled itself. People might die. People are dying every day. 43 people were killed yesterday. I'm sure the numbers is more than that. But it is Nigeria. It is only the figure they tell you you keep to. So when I say 43, you better multiply that by 2. So let us go for another election. I laugh because you don't know that these individuals are animals and they are ready to take down anybody along with them. They were not even killed by gun. They were slaughtered like that. Each one of them. But because everybody believes that they can change the mindset of the Fulani. My question to you all now is, do you think we can change the mindset of these animals, bloodsuckers? Do you believe that in 1,000 years from today, maybe I am the 5th or the 4th generation from my family, so another 600 years, we will still be discussing how to coerce and pray for the Fulani man so that he can live peacefully and leave us peacefully the way we are. And you want us to continue with one Nigeria. May the souls of those that have been killed rest in peace. But it will only rest in peace if I break up Nigeria so that the next people is not affected, where is the vice president, the Pastor Ruga, shotman devil? And this is Nigeria of 2020, where lives have become meaningless to everybody. Everybody. Life has become meaningless to you. And we have become so selfish that we only think about our own immediate family. As long as our immediate family is not affected, so who cares? Let me play an audio that was sent to me. It's not very clear, but let's see if we can get a bit out of it. When we say that people get kidnapped all the time, a lot of you might not understand that so many people are paying their ways without even informing the authority or the police because they are trying to save their innocent loved ones from being killed. Let's hear this. It's not very clear, but I'll just hope we can hear it from your side.
So, okay, mommy, don't pay you. I can't be missing you. Seriously. Oh. Seriously. Sean, the surprise me. I really don't see what you carry and carry your shop. What do you want? I know. At the answer, they tell me what you want now. I just the answer what to do. I be more from carrying you. I beg you, no, do that now. Because of the small children where you see, beg because of God now. Pàṣẹ àti wà lóòótẹ́ ọ̀kan fẹ́ wọ́n pé ìgbà yìí lọ já mọ́tò náà láti ìdí kọ́kọ́rọ́ káwọn máa lè lọ sí ìlè lọ́kọ̀ bọ́ skul wọn. Ẹ̀pẹ́ exam ti fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀. Mo ti gbé ọmọ tí mo lè pè, mo ti gbé wálé, mo ti gba tọ́ba, mo ti gbé èké, mo ti gbé gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n mi náà, mo ti sọ fún wọn, mo ti gbé mọ́mí, mo ti gbé dáàdì. Mo ti gbé ìpè ìṣẹ́tọ̀ fàtà ìbùkún wọn náà lọ wá. Ló jẹ́ kí forward mo ti gbé gbogbo àwọn pásítọ̀ Adéọlá. Ẹ ó wà ní àwọn ṣẹ́mi ọpọlọ report police station tó wá sí Èkó. Okay, if you go get IG from Abuja, we are ready. Abuja, let them go to IG. Okay, no. As in to tell them say money, make you bring money. Now me at the tell them. Huh? I did tell them say I call that person for money. So the police don't come your place. No, when they hear this way happen, I made them fall. I tell me they go, everything they okay, say no problem. I don't tell them they don't go. They're not here when people go call them. People don't come, when police don't come. When you leave that side, they come say that they hear noise, we see happen. I don't say not see happen, say when they go, everything they okay. So they can't go. Now what's happening with that one? If you like, let me tell them. We will not share every soldier, anybody where you know say for content. We are ready. You remember the day when they killed one at your back of the station? Okay, yes. Do you remember that day? Now which? Okay. And then if you can not forget, you never to today and almost with one day, if you can remember. Okay, me I don't even know this. I don't know this. So she told us that your husband knows that you know that you know. So you know they are going to have some people after that one. Me I know they stay there. I just come there today. I don't know. So we now we change the person where we keep for after the that day. Okay. We just give it a now. And we all let you go. You don't come back to those who are still out. And almost all people communicate.
Let me pause that. This is a kind of a negotiation with a Nigerian, I'm sure a Yoruba woman from the tone. She's negotiating her husband release from the capture of a kidnapping that is already taking place. And do you know what the guy, the Fulani man, was saying there? That if you like, go and tell the IG. So some of you that believe that you will be protected by the Nigerian security, a kidnapper is telling the person that they are communicating with those of IG, Inspector General of Police. And this is meant to be a country. And some of you want us to go into another election in 2023. Let us break up Nigeria before it's too late. Let us put a full stop to Nigeria before you are the next victim. Look, it doesn't matter your sentiment among your friends, your colleagues, your elite. The love and the passion you have for Nigeria, it will never, 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 never work. It doesn't matter how good your English is, how educated you are, you might be the next victim. It doesn't matter how prayer warrior you are, it's not going to help you. It doesn't matter how careful you want to be each time you go to Nigeria, especially the diaspora, you will be a victim. You might say it's in the north, but remember, the audio I played must have happened in the south. Oh, you don't believe that? But at least a king, a first-class Yoruba king, was killed in Akure on Thursday. A cleric, a pastor, was killed on Thursday morning. In the same day, in a week, we are now talking about almost close to 100 deaths, and nobody flares up. Nobody is upset. Nobody is ready to do anything because it doesn't concern you. So when those that sit down and watch our video and say those individuals are talking nonsense, tell them they will be the next victim very soon. It's just a matter of time. They will be the next victim of the atrocity of Nigeria. So when those that say, let us manage the APC and the PDP, or let us bring another political party that will fight the Fulani or fight the Kabars, tell them they will be the next victim. This is Nigeria in 21st century, where lives does not matter. But it is Nigeria. How does that concern anybody? That is the governor, right there in the middle, the governor of Borno State. Do you know how many times he has been attacked? Do you know how many personnel security died trying to protect him? Can you be protected 24/7 like the governor? Even the governor is not safe. So if the governor is not safe, who guarantee your life in Nigeria? And this was just yesterday. When the Sultan of Sokoto was telling us that in Sokoto, we lost, according to him, over 75 people died. I'm sure some of you would have said, Sultan of Sokoto. This is the same person that told us about the 27th of November that the bandits, Nigeria, the north, is the worst place to be in Nigeria as bandits are moving freely with AK-47. Oh yes, families and friends and people kidnap each other for ransom. That has been going on for so long. But the question still remains is, does the country ready to secure you the way America was able to secure one person with the Navy SEAL? Let me tell you, in one day, according to the Sultan of Sokoto, 26 girls were freed. But do you know what? Oh, they were revealing what happened to them. And you know what happened especially when they are girls. I'm sure it's a Sunday afternoon. You don't want me to go into the details. But let us read what happened to them. Some of the 26 girls, look at them. They are also Muslims. But the Boko Haram cares? No, they are not interested in that. The girls were adopted from their homes in October 13, just about 7 days before the NSAS, and were eventually released on November the 3rd. The details of their release had caused controversy concerning a ransom of 6.6 million said to have been paid to the kidnappers. While the state government had claimed that the victims were released due to its intervention and negotiation with their adopters, the community does not believe the government because they know the government is 419. Now, let us hear what happened to these 26 girls. I'm sure you must have started thinking what must have happened to young girls, especially in the hands of lions, animals that will pounce on them, whether they are young or old. Narrating their ordeal in an interview with Daily Trust, some of the victims said they were trekked for 3 nights in the bush and were raped several times. Can you allow your own sister to be raped? Some of you might say, oh, Yomi, that is not going to happen. Because a lot of us, we always don't want to believe anything. We are too quick to brush aside the reality that these things have been happening for a very, very long time. But because it is not our family member, so we tend not to believe it. So we always brush it to one side. Let's play this video for a short interlude. And then, when I come back, we will continue with the program.
I saw Nigeria in the hands of the Almighty God, heaven and earth. Nigeria was and it crash landed Nigeria. And Nigeria was scattered into pieces.
Amen.
Amen. And it was divided into various ways. And the hands took eraser and it erased Nigeria. It wrote another nation which I could not know. The second mission I saw the sun, and it was called the Sun of Righteousness. And the sun set all of a sudden. And God told me, if the Sun of Righteousness comes down in Nigeria, and we're going to suffer a lot. The third vision.
Amen.
Amen.
Please, everybody pay attention to a little boy called David. A young man saved from garage without wisdom of men. So listen.
Warning. On the third revelation. You Christian in Nigeria. If you allow the Son of Righteousness to go down in this nation, we are going to all suffer. If the righteousness of Christian has been collapsed, the enemy will prevail or have power over them. What happened to all of us in this nation is righteousness has fallen or collapsed. There is no more righteousness in the church. No more righteousness in the church. And Yoruba didn't come to pass. The righteous one in the city is the wicked one. All of us speaking the truth, you are trying to silence us. I wrote something on the Facebook this week. Somebody said, Daddy, easy. But what I said, I mean it. I cannot talk in the secret that I cannot say it in the public. I don't want hearsay. I don't want lie and hearsay that I'm using
Anybody talking around me is on record. Whatever I'm saying, you don't need to be told.
the help of the Christian.
Wọ́n tí mo fẹ́ fi encourage wa rèé.
But my word of encouragement to us.
Àkọ́kọ́ ni pé kí gbogbo àlọ́ jíjí òdodo.
First, that we should go and revive.
Gbogbo àdàkùrẹ́ wa ní Kristẹni lórílẹ̀.
All of us, we call ourselves Christian in this nation.
Owó àti pa.
We are after money and position.
Òdodo ṣubú kúrò nínú ìjọ.
Righteousness has fallen away from the church.
Òdodo ṣubú kúrò lórí pẹpẹ.
Righteousness has fallen away from the
Òdodo
pulpit.
ṣubú kúrò lágbolé kọ̀ọ̀kan.
Righteousness has fallen away from each
Òdodo
man.
ṣubú nínú ayé àwọn ènìyàn.
Righteousness has fallen in the life of people.
Ẹnìkejì ń tan ara wọn.
The neighbors are deceiving themselves.
Olùṣọ́ àgùntàn méjì ìrọ́nà fi ń bá.
Pastors relating together with lies.
Olórí ń fi ẹ̀tàn bọ́ ọmọ ẹ̀yìn lò.
The leaders are relating with the
Ẹ̀tàn
followers
náà
with
tan
lies.
olórí.
And the followers
Gbogbo
are
ìwé
deceiving.
ìròyìn wa lórílẹ̀‐èdè ó kún fún irọ́.
All our newspapers are full of lies.
Wọ́n náà pa ẹnìkan lọ́nà rẹ̀
Somebody
lọ́sẹ̀.
was killing along the express road.
Secretary to government ó ní àmúrọ̀bà.
And the secretary to the government said he was still
Àwọn
armed.
tí wọ́n attack wọ́n ní kì í ṣe àmúrọ̀bà pé Fúlàní ló attack
Though
wọn.
the victim said it
Ìjọba ń
was
parọ́.
armed robber for Fulani.
Ilé ẹ̀rọ tẹlifíṣàn ń parọ́.
Government was lying, media was
Radio
lying,
ń parọ́.
radio.
Tó bá lélẹ̀ tó sòótọ́ náà àwọn rédíò
If
wọ̀nyí.
there's anyone that say truth,
Ìjọba nìkan lọ ti pa.
the government will ask them to go and shut
À ń
them up.
fi èké tu ayé ara wa.
We are using lies to arrange our
Òdodo ní
life.
gbé orílẹ̀-èdè lékè.
Righteousness exalted the nation.
Orílẹ̀-èdè tí òdodo rẹ̀ bá ti ṣubú.
Any nation that righteousness has
Yóò
collapsed
ṣubú náà ni.
will fall as well.
Ó ń kán ni mò ń sọ lórí Nàìjíríà.
Only one thing I'm laying emphasis on today,
Tó o sọ.
and I will continue to say it.
Margaret Thatcher ló sọ nígbà tó fíìsìtì
And
Nàìjíríà.
Thatcher said it when she visited
Nígbà tó jẹ́
Nigeria.
Prime Minister UK.
When she was Prime Minister of the
Ìyẹn
United
ti kú ní
Kingdom.
ìsìn.
The woman is dead now.
Nígbà tó wá sí orílẹ̀-èdè.
When she came to this
Tó
nation,
wo gbogbo ìṣe wa.
that look at all
Ó
our
ní
things.
Nàìjíríà is an artificial country.
Ó ní Nàìjíríà jẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè tí a tọwọ́ ènìyàn ṣe.
Built on faulty
Ṣé
foundation.
àgbẹ̀ lórí ìpìlẹ̀ tí ò tọ́
Proper structure.
láì ní ìpìlẹ̀ tó fìdí múlẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe rí gan nìyẹn.
And that's how it is.
I keep on saying it.
Mò ń sọ,
Nigeria is an artificial country.
Nàìjíríà jẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè tí a tọwọ́ ènìyàn dá.
Gbogbo ẹnu ni mo fi sọ láìsí
All
ibẹ̀.
my house without
Ibo
apology.
láǹfààní ní gbangba máa sọ
You
bẹ́ẹ̀.
are privileged to say publicly I will declare.
Nigeria is an artificial country
Nàìjíríà jẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè tí a tọwọ́ ènìyàn
built
dá.
on faulty foundation
Àgbẹ̀ lórí ìpìlẹ̀ tí kò
without
dá.
proper structure.
Láì ní àwọn ìgbékalẹ̀
And
tó
we
dá.
keep patching it.
A sì ń mọ à ń.
Ìgbé tá a bá fi tọ́mọ,
Any house we used to train the
ìrì
child,
ló máa wo kalẹ̀.
definitely deal with collapse.
Òdodo ní gbé orílẹ̀-èdè lékè.
Righteousness exalted the nation.
Irọ́ làwa fi ń kọ́
And we
orílẹ̀-èdè.
are using lies to build our own
Kò
nation.
sígbà tí ò ní wó.
There is no way we will not collapse.
Ọgbẹ́ ènìyàn ò lè tó ìlú.
The wisdom education of man cannot
Ọgbẹ́
have.
ènìyàn ò lè tó ìjọ.
The wisdom of man cannot have in church.
Kìrìsìtẹ́nì kì í ṣe pé mo kàwé.
Christian is not about education.
Ìwé náà.
Education is
Ṣùgbọ́n
true.
bí pé
What the Bible says,
ìwé a máa pani.
letter killers.
Ẹ̀mí ní sọ ní
The
díà.
spirit that quickeneth.
Amen.
Amen.
Now gbogbo ọgbẹ́ ènìyàn
All the wisdom and philosophy of man
tó ayé kò tó orílẹ̀-èdè.
cannot arrange this world or nation.
Àwọn professor lórí economics ò
The
níye.
professor on economics are numerous.
Wọ́n lè yọjú economic
They
in
cannot
Nigeria.
settle the economic problem of Nigeria.
Ìkànnú ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n economics lórílẹ̀-èdè.
One of the
Ó
professor in
ní
economics.
Nigeria economics a galloping economy.
Ó ní ọrọ̀ ajé Nàìjíríà ó jẹ́ èyí tó lọ sókè tó lọ
Kú
sókè.
ṣeré ni.
Ìbú ṣeré ni o.
Wọ́n sì ẹ̀yàn prime minister for petroleum tuntun.
They have just appointed a new minister of petroleum.
Ó ní àlè continue pẹ̀lú 145 by ní.
And he said we can't continue with 145
Pé
per jala
àbídá
ipo.
fekun.
Except we had to eat.
Fekun kò yanjú
We
ìṣòro wa.
had and had to eat. It couldn't solve our problem.
Now mi ò tí ì ráyè ti Nàìjíríà.
I don't have time for Nigeria now.
Kristẹni ni mo fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀
But I want
lónìí.
to talk to Christian in Nigeria.
Ìrànlọ́wọ́ Kristẹni.
The help of Christian.
Tálà ń pè ní Kristẹni.
Who is a Christian?
Kì í ṣe Paul.
He's not
Kì í ṣe Peter.
Pope. He's not
Kì í ṣe
Paul.
Daniel.
He's not Peter. He's not
Ṣe
Daniel.
Dábìdì.
He's not David.
Ṣebí Paul Bọ́gbà ó ti di Mùsùlùmí.
But one guy has become a Muslim.
Orúkọ kọ́.
It's not about name.
Díákónì kan.
It's not about position.
Kì í ṣe oyè.
It's not about
Kì í
chief.
ṣe general overseer.
It's not about general
Mo dá
overseer.
ìjọ́lẹ̀ ìjọ tóbi kọ́ là ń pè ní
It's
Kristẹni.
not about mega churches.
No.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ rárá.
Kristẹni
Christian.
ó ní àwọn tó ronú padà kúrò nínú ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wọn.
Those who have repented genuinely from their
Tí a ti
sin.
rà padà.
They have been redeemed.
Tí orúkọ wọn bẹnu ìwé ìyè.
Their name is being written in the book
Tí
of
wọ́n ń
life.
gbé ìgbé ayé tí Kristẹni fẹ́ kán
And they
gbé.
are living a Christ-like life.
Kristẹni lẹni tó ní attribute Kristi nínú.
Christian is somebody that have àbùdá
The
Christian.
humanity of Christ.
Tí ó ní àbùdá ìwà Kristi nínú.
Kí ni Gẹ̀ẹ́sì àbùdá yẹn?
That's attributes.
That are the humanity attribute of Christ.
Ó ní ìwà àbújá ti Kristi nípa ti
Òun náà
ènìyàn
ń
nínú.
pè ní Kristẹni.
That's what we call a Christian.
Inú wọn ni olódodo,
And in them we have holiness,
olóòótọ́,
we have the righteous
ìwà
one,
mímọ́,
we have holiness,
ìwà tó tọ́, integrity,
goodness, integrity,
òtítọ́ inú,
sincerity,
láì nìkan pé méjì.
without missing
Bẹ́ẹ̀
words.
ni jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
And your yes is
Bẹ́ẹ̀
yes,
kọ́ jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀
and
kọ́.
your no is no.
Ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ lẹ́yìn,
What you say
wọ́n
behind,
lè sọ ní
you
gbangba.
can say it publicly.
Ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ lójú gbogbo
What
ènìyàn.
you say publicly,
Àṣírí ọ̀rọ̀ náà ò ní tó kó lóun ò wí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́.
so the secret will not be exposed and you
Àwọn
don't
ìyẹn
deny
yìí ṣe
it.
Kristẹni.
These ones are not Christians.
Kristẹni ní ọ̀rọ̀ ẹnu wọn.
Understanding the word of
Ó
their mouth
bá èrò inú wọn mu.
is in line with their thought.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Once again, this is a live broadcast. Today's date is the 29th day of November 2020. My name is Yomi Koiki, and why are we doing this? We are preparing you so that our women will not be raped, our mothers will not be captured. People can then have a free life, whether you want to be a Christian or Muslim or you don't want to be anything at all. A nation that will be built where your life will be much, much better. Let's go back to this article a little bit closer. Some of the girls were narrating how they were kidnapped from their village in Fasakara local government area of Katsina State. They have narrated their ordeal in the hands of their adopters. The girls were adopted from their homes on the 13th of October 2020. They were eventually released after 6.6 million were given. But they were not going to be released without the girls going through the normal thing that these animals would love to enjoy from the girls. And I'm sure everybody knows that. One of the victims reportedly said about 8 out of the 26 adoptees were spared from the sexual abuse. We trekked for 3 nights. The victim was quoted to have said, when the day breaks, they will camp them inside a bush to spend the day there, and at night, they will continue to walk the journey. That was what we did for 3 good nights. We trekked throughout the night in the forest. You would have thought that the government would have protected all our forest trees, but yet people were still able to kidnap and move people. So if we have a Yoruba nation, do you know what the technology would have done to capture the sensor of people in the forestry right from a command center? But this is Nigeria. Who cares? There are so many people out of these young girls that become a victim in the hands of the bandits. For those of us that were not raped, the bandit will come and hit us on the head about 10 times at night and 2 times on our way back the following day. So because they were not able to rape some of the girls, they were beaten. My question now is, this was part of what Sultan of Sokoto told us on the 27th of this month. The OIC. Let's come into the OIC a little bit. OIC. Do you know what the OIC is all about? Let me give you a bit of the background. According to what we know, it's called the Organization of the Islamic Cooperation. According to the UNHCR, OIC country hosts 18 million refugees by the end of 2010. Let's come here and read further on this organization. What is the purpose? What is it for? The Organization of Islamic Cooperation was founded in 1969. It has 57 members, 56 of which are also members of the State of United Nations, with 42 countries being Muslim majority countries. Some, especially in West Africa, are thought with large Muslim population, not necessarily Muslim majority countries. A few countries with significant Muslim population, such as Russia and Thailand, sit as an observer state, while other states as India and Ethiopia are not members. So my question is, what is this OIC all about? What is the role of Nigeria in the OIC? What have we been told? What do we know? What can anybody share with me? I'm going to open the phone line in a minute. But I want us to get a bit more background of this OIC. Once again, a very, very good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on what part of the world you've joined us from. I will show you a few more of what we've gathered with this OIC. OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation. What is the agenda? Who was the Nigerian president that went ahead and put us into the OIC? Is Nigeria going into an Islamic country? Is that the reason why all these killings from the Boko Haram and the bandits? Maybe not, maybe. Let me come back here first while I prepare that for you. But before I prepare that, I would also remind us of what Evangelist Fumilayo talked about of this same OIC in 2016 in one of our videos. We have played that video before, but I just want to remind us part of what she said while I prepare more information of what I'm about to show you in just about a few minutes. A very good afternoon once again. Let us hear what Evangelist Fumilayo told us about this organization called OIC. Nigeria is at the verge of breakup. But before Nigeria will break, there will be so much of what we are doing. But before I show you that, let me remind you of this video. You know, we just talked about the rape case in 2020. Let me first play this video just to remind you.
The driver felt
what
the
she has to
wagon's
say.
tires rupture and decided to park the car with the hope of changing the tires. It was like a film. In a GC, motley crowd of armed men in military uniform came out of the bush. They fired at the boot of the car. Ahead of us, 5 of them came out of the bush. Another 2 came from the rear. My daughter screamed, "Mommy, Daddy, what's going on?" There was no time to say a word. They marched us through into the bush, firing into the sky. They hit me on my chest, hit my daughter on her head. Blood oozed. At this time, it was better to kill me. I shouted at one of the armed men. His response was hell. He went straight for my private part, tore my dress with his gun. The others ripped my dresses. I was left with my undies. My husband and my daughter started crying. 2 of them dug their teeth into my breasts. While attending a secondary school in Adamawa, I had lived with some Fulani, so I understood a few Fulani words. I started pleading, at least for my daughter. To my shock, at gunpoint, they removed the dress of my little girl. One of them carried her on his head as my baby struggled, shouting, "Daddy, Mommy, what's going on? Help me!" I could not help myself. We marched for 9 hours. I was half naked. My daughter was totally naked. Her tears was like a stream of blood on her cheeks. Our phones had been seized. We ended up in an ungoverned region in the thick of the forest. We met a well-organized group. There were some kidnapped victims. I saw 2 women, 2 ladies and 3 men. There were some people with their legs chained to trees. They were as if half dead. We were separated. I was separated from my husband. My daughter was taken away. I only heard her screaming intermittently. I did not know what they were doing to her. These men, now about 2 dozen, had a full kitchen. They had a huge camp and a traditional medical team. How can they say they don't know where these people are? How can they say that? But the camps appeared isolated from each other. We heard noises afar, indicating it might be nuclear settlements of camps. Right in my presence, I saw them pack the remains of a woman. They took her and buried her a few meters away from us. She had tribal marks. I cannot describe the agony of 6 days in captivity in this little piece. I cannot talk about how they asked my husband to choose between myself being raped or his daughter being raped. My husband broke down in uncontrollable tears. One of them hit him saying, "Yoruba bastard, you dey cry, idiot." They now gave him an option that he should be raped by one homosexual among them. My husband, a devout Muslim. My husband is a devout Muslim. He told them that homosexual and rape of any kind was against Islam. They hit him with a butt of AK-47. What do you know about Islam? You can imagine, you are being asked to choose between being raped by a homosexual, your daughter just 9 years old, or your wife being raped. They gave the fourth option. If you fail to choose one, we would rape your daughter, rape you, the man, and rape me, the wife. I made myself the sacrificial lamb. My husband begged, saying they should name any price. One of them asked him to bend down. 3 beastly criminals sat on his back, jumping until he was too weak to stand. I was not allowed to put on any additional clothes. Imagine they rape you all night and they stop you from putting on any clothes for 24 hours. The rain fell once. I became a relic at a sexual museum for the armed men who in turn addressed me and asked questions about my financial standing. New Fulani men joined the camp. They organized military training for the new Fulani men that came, teaching them how to shoot and walk through circles of glowing fire. They were not released until after 6 days. We were not released until after 6 days. We had to walk the same zigzag journey back to the main road, our eyes blindfolded. During the negotiation to pay, they said the money was not for them alone, that they had to settle those who sent them. For me, I see a thriving organized crime supported by powerful political interests. Now, I do not think we were released to freedom after paying a whopping 8 million naira. I do not think we can ever be free. We can never be free from the anguish, the psychological trauma, the nightmares we suffered, the occasional fits of my daughter, her waking up at night behaving strangely, her asking the same question over and over, Mommy, why? And I do not have an answer. In my life, I have never passed through a torture chamber like this. I do not think any society should let this happen. I do not know the fate of those we met and about 7 other people brought during the 6 days we were in captivity. What I saw was a nation that has collapsed, but pretends she lives. A people on life support. Crime is not restricted to Fulani people alone. We have Yoruba criminals, but I don't think Yoruba criminals are this beastly. These elements are savages. I can't imagine Yoruba thieves going to Sokoto or Meduguri to kidnap Fulani people and keep them in their own bushes. It gives me mental torture that this is happening, and some people are even trying to justify or look for excuses. Well, as a devout Muslim, myself and my family have taken solace in Allah. Not the Nigerian police, not the army, not the government. We have taken our faith the way it came. This is supposed to be faith. I thank God that we successfully returned to where we live thousands of miles from Nigeria. We thank God that we have made a vow. Never shall me, any of my children or husband in our lifetime visit Nigeria again. Our remains, anytime we die, will also not be buried in Nigeria. It was a suggestion my daughter made, which we all adopted. I pity the country. I pity her people who continuously walk like the living dead. I pity those who parade themselves as leaders because they know nothing about what is going on and the abyss the country is sunk already. I pity Yoruba people. Oh, I pity you. I pity my people. For me, the issue is not about President Buhari. Democracy can produce anything, even the worst in the society. What I worry about is the conspiracy of silence by the people themselves. The ignorance, the treachery, and the illusion that one day things will get better through another election. Since I was born in Nigeria, each year had led from bad to worse and on and on. I do not have a solution to what is going on, but I think very soon hell will let loose upon the earth as long as there is no law and order and anarchy and the rule of brutes in the order of the day. Once again, there can never be anything more comforting than my husband, who saw what I went through, but was able to encourage me, and even encourage me to write this little piece after months of agony and sociological imbalance. Good night, Nigerians.
I will open the phone line just for a few hours or a few minutes. And then I will then take you to this story that I prepared while that video was going on. My name is Olayomi Koiki. My job is to remind us that there are so many atrocities that have been going on for a very, very long time. But this time, we have come very hard to say we will end Nigeria. But before we end Nigeria, we need to bring you some of those atrocities as much as we can so that it will let you understand the pain of people like these. I don't know when that video was, but it's more like it's just like yesterday when I was showing you these young innocent girls that also went through the same thing this woman went through as well. Just now, I was showing you the 26 innocent captives that become a prey. They were now hitting them raw, just the same way the woman was used on the time she was kidnapped. Just like the audio I played, that the woman is negotiating on behalf of the husband, and they were even telling her that it doesn't matter, if you like, go tell IG. So does the IG knows about this? What is the real agenda of the OIC? I'm still asking that question. +4475 9405079. While we are getting more calls to come through in just about a few minutes, let's look at this headline. Not that one. Let's look at this headline that I've got ready for us. I will read a bit out of it. Maybe not everything, but something out of it. Let me make sure that my camera is not blocking. So I'm going to minimize mine a little bit. Muhammad Buhari, Nigerian presidency and his Niger Republic development agenda by Dr. Bolaji O. Akiyemi. We Yoruba people will love to talk, we love to write, but the only thing that they have never seen is how do we activate and fight them back? And this is where we come in. I have told you, everybody's role is different. There will be some media, if you watch the late night broadcast. I have told you before that CNN, BBC, Sky News, They are just media organizations. They will never go and carry a gun or go and fight, but they will go and cover the event, even in a very dangerous terrain. They have covered so many wars, from the Afghanistan war, to the Iraq war, to name it. The next one they will witness is the Nigeria one, as we are about to unleash problem very soon. But one thing you're all expecting is, you're thinking that the media, like we, are going to also do the same thing that the media, like BBC, have never done. But they'll be different among us. Why some media will continue to bring awareness? Some are preparing to fight the Fulani because some, like me, cannot write like this article I'm going to read to you. So everybody will become just one, the same way I have said this so many times. This doctor is a good writer. He knows what he wants to talk about. He has put it in pen and paper. But the only thing that the North and the Fulani knows is a Yoruba is not ready to fight. But this time around, tell them that is about to change. Tell them that is about to change. That the Yoruba that they thought will not fight is now saying enough is enough. Election will not hold in 2023. I can tell you that categorically every time I sit down here. And if you think it's a joke, we are only a few years away. That's if Nigeria does not go into a flame before that time. Let's read this article a little bit. Muhammad Buhari, Nigerian presidency and his Niger Republic development agenda by Dr. Bolaji O. Akiyemi. I did ask on this show as well before. Maybe a lot of you do not know who that person is. Where is Minor? Where is he? Where has he gone to? Where has Minor gone to? I'm sure you all remember him. Abdul Rashid Minor, pension fraud. Where is he? He has absconded. Is he in Niger? Is he being protected by people in Niger? And this writer is also asking the same question. Where is Minor? Question mark. In his ancestry route, also from Niger Republic? Another question mark. Ó ń béèrè pé ibo ni Minor wà? Ṣé route Minor as well is from Niger? You can see that Nigeria, we have been on the keg of gunpowder for a very long time. But because everybody has been so like, let us manage it, let us adopt, let us see if we can continue to manage Nigeria. Now we realize that Nigeria cannot be managed. Let us take a knife and cut it down to pieces so that everybody can have peace of mind. Is the ancestry root of Minor also from Niger Republic? This author or this writer is asking question. Could Minor be hidden among the Sahel and the Tuareg who are partners in the agenda to develop Niger Republic at the expense of Nigeria? It then takes me back to again, what is the meaning of the OIC? So when they talk about OIC, is Niger part of OIC? Let us find out. Let us see. I don't know. But what I can tell you from the latest news that I picked up, there was something that took place. Even the UAE, United Arab Emirates, also participated in the 47th section of the Council of OIC Foreign Minister. But where was this held? What do we know? Let's come back here first. I'm going to go back to Minor. I just want you to know that we have 57-member Organization of Islamic Cooperation. They are also asking India to refrain from altering the demographic structure of India that was administered to Kashmir, that India had unilaterally annexed last August, according to Pakistan Foreign Minister. Do you know that there are so many Muslims in Pakistan? You can see that everything is getting to where we can understand the game. So 57 members are defending their own 57 members of the OIC are defending once again a very good afternoon and welcome to Nigeria at the verge of breakup. But before it breaks, it's quite a lot of movement here. I do apologize. Still need to. All right. Giving a lot of let's see. Once again, a very good afternoon and welcome to the program. Where is Minor? What is Niger road with the Organization of Islamic Cooperation? What is the role of Niger? What is the role of Niger? All right, so much movement here on this table because we're having problem with the Instagram, and that is why there's a lot of movement. But we hope to resolve that as quickly as possible, and then we can continue with the broadcast. All right. Once again, a very good afternoon and welcome. So let's see. Nigeria is at the verge of breakup, but so many people hoping, praying that Nigeria should not break because they love Nigeria so much. All right. All right, let me stop the Instagram so that I can have a peace of mind first with this movement because it's really distracting. All right, so all right, let's stop that first. All right, let me quickly adjust these. Once again, Nigeria at the verge of breakup. Let me make sure that my system is still, that's fine. Okay. Do apologize for that. The time is exactly 3:29 here in London. I now want to tell you a little bit. We are looking for Minor. We don't know where he is. But according to the writer is giving us that Minor might also be in Niger, being protected. But I'm asking so many questions. But those questions need a lot of answers from us. So many answers we need. Let me just quickly go on a short interlude and I'll come back. All right, I will take that call.
The driver felt the wagon's tires rupture. And
while I'm getting myself sorted out with few things behind here. Hello or good afternoon, caller. Welcome to the program.
Oh, good afternoon. I didn't know you are in the call.
All right, that's fine. Let me take that off straight away. So let me go back into the interlude while I prepare a few things behind the scene. Once again, Nigeria at the verge of breakup.
Created by the enemy of black men, dead, where the black never civilize. Location 9, that is what it is. The country where the leader said the people's glory. They turn their children to prostitute, and the toy boy children to terrorists. Now, terrorists on the take over. Yoruba people say we know they do again. Say hold you to our nation, that is what we want now. Freedom, 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 freedom. Motherfucker, come and free us. Freedom, 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 freedom. Now, location náà ìlú Boko Haram, ìlú àwọn hush politician àti S-men. Fake promises every year, fake miracle everywhere.
All right, let's come back and then quickly, because we haven't got much time. The show will come to an end at exactly 1600 hours. So we have about 28 minutes left. So I'm going to push this. We have 57 members, part of this organization for Islamic cooperation. But do you know that they had a meeting recently? And that meeting was held in Niger. Right, you heard me very well. The meeting was held, that's it there. So this organization had their meeting in Niger. Now, the question we're asking is, Minor, this guy, this one here, is he also being protected in Niger right now? So I'm going to read this quickly, then I'm going to bring you back to what is the role of Nigeria in this organization called OIC. Remember the picture? And this is who we're talking about. And also including the presidency, Niger, what is the Republic development, what is all that all about. Now, let's go into it. The scrapping of history as a subject from our school curriculum is a deliberate ploy by the oligarchs to keep us in dark concerning their dealings against the rest of the country. So many times when people say, oh, our history, is because they do not want us to know so many things. Well, they take almost so many things. But now we are exposing these things, and the government and those at home are not happy because they forgot that one day a technology will be available where I can broadcast to every part of the world, and they can watch and they can listen to me. Now, unofficial historical record, hear this very well, claim that Muhammadu Buhari's father was a poultry farmer from Niger Republic who came to settle in the northern Nigeria and eventually married a Kanuri Muslim from today Borno, the same Borno that we have been talking about, where killings continue to take place as at yesterday. I hope you are pinning these together, as I speak to you. Now, let's go back to it. Muhammadu is therefore the first generation Nigerian citizen from the Buhari lineage. What a privilege for him to have become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria within a generation. A parallel of some sort between Buhari and Obama, though Obama visited Kenya a couple of times as the sitting president of the United States of America. That was as his own personal cause. We are talking about a federation where things work, a place where the president is a tenant in the White House and must pay his rent, a facility where his first wife, as the first lady, is the CEO of their official residency, while their constitutional occupation lasts. But our own Nigerian federation spend more money on cutlery for the villa in the year than we do on any of our federal university in a year. Our own president are burdened to the villa, adding no value to his maintenance. The sojourn of young, athletic Muhammad Buhari in Nigeria was dotted with favor. In the past, joining the military was not fashionable among young men, let alone women. Majority of southern Nigerian youth were more attracted to academia, the civil service, and the corporate sector. So young immigrants in the north from Chad, Niger, Sudan, Cameroon had practically no completion from their southern counterpart. Muhammad Buhari thus had a rewarding career in the army. He became the governor of the northeastern state at the age of 33 in 1975. This is the average age of some of the peaceful protesters on whom the army turned gun at Lekki Toll Gate. Recently, and recorded painfully, an embarrassing massacre of the 21st century. Buhari went on to become the Federal Commissioner of Petroleum Resources in 1976 at the age of 34, within a span of 1 year. Young Muhammadu has seen it all as a governor and the Federal Commission of Petroleum Resources. 44 years down the line, the youth of that age line up the street to protest police brutality, #EndSARS, as well as bad administration. Buhari's emergency as head of state was dramatic. Himself and his gang in khaki aborted our second republic, sent to jail politicians of southern descent under spurious allegations, while their northern counterpart found solace in the comfort of their homes while they were under house arrest for the same nature of offenses of which most of the southern politicians eventually died in the jail due to harsh and inhumane condition of our prison. His reign was allegory seen but hardly heard of his two-in-sea Major General Tunde Idiagbon held the show and ran it. Little wonder that the young man, Sahibu Tunde Yusuf from Daura, who is now serving his personal assistant and private secretary at the name Tunde add to his name. This second Tunde is so relevant and influential in the running of Muhammad Buhari's government that might and powerful defer to him, while the arrogant sojourners in the corridors of power told him. But this is another story for another day. Muhammad Buhari and Tunde Idiagbon had one thing in common. They were pious Muslims with a learning on fundamentalism, with Islamic jurisprudence, guided decree, drafted, promulgated under the head as the head of state and the chief of staff. Now, as I'm reading further, you will get where I'm going into. Staff Supreme Military Headquarters, respectively, they were indeed supreme in the power. They were so rigged with the implementation of draconic decree till the liberal in the army, who were also Muslim, saw the need to step in and ally the fears of the Christians in the country, who were already feeling uncomfortable. The distrust of the Muslims north in the Babangida, who overthrew a trusted ambassador, hear this, ambassador of Islam, led to Babangida decision. This is where we were kept into OIC. Babangida decision to haul Nigeria into the Organization of Islamic Countries, now known as OIC, to regain the confidence of the people in the north. My question now to you all, what is our gain under the OIC? What is our gain? What is our gain under the OIC? Let's hear the video of the address, Nema, November 28th, addressing the OIC, Council of the Foreign Minister Conference, as the head of the delegation of the true representative of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. So they are now defending another territory. This is what they do. The OIC are the second largest organization, and their job is to protect any other territory, just the same way they are giving back into Nigeria as we speak today. So OIC is currently giving so much support to the Nigerian government to suppress the rest of us. Let's hear this from them.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Mr. Chairman, Honorable OIC Secretary General, distinguished foreign ministers and delegates, Assalamu alaikum. We congratulate the chair for assuming the chair of OIC Council of Foreign Ministers. Our deepest condolences on the sad demise of the revered former President of Nigeria. The people of Jammu and Kashmir are grateful to the OIC for supporting Kashmir's right to self-determination year after year, decade after decade, and calling for an end to the gross human rights violations in the occupied Jammu and Kashmir. We thank this CFM that it is adopting a strong resolution on Jammu and Kashmir. Mr. Chairman, I bring only 4 points to the CFM's session. 1, Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir is burning. India is committing genocide there. People are being killed, maimed, blinded, illegally imprisoned, tortured, and forcibly disappeared. There are 20,000 prisoners in jails and concentration camps. Crimes against humanity are being perpetrated on an industrial scale. There is death and destruction everywhere.
Let me explain what is happening there to you. Let me break it down. That part of these people that spoke just now, do you know what they're asking for? The same thing myself and you as Yoruba people are asking for, a total self-determination out of India. The members of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. So they brought their case. Wọ́n gbé ẹjọ́ wọn wá bá wọn yẹn pé ẹ wò wá, ẹ gbà wá. Just the same way some of you are waiting for the UK and the United Nations. You better start speaking as well to OIC so that they can allow us to go. You don't know the game on the table. So this OIC, they are so powerful. They are now telling India to allow this group of people to have their own independent nation. You can see how things are being played out with the organization that is the second largest after United Nations. That is how powerful they are. So when you see that they are pumping money to Niger, it all started with Babangida. I have a caller, my brother, Temitope, that wants to share one or two things with us, I guess, and I'll allow him to go ahead.
Sometimes they'll come up tired. Cherry to everybody, every you coming back. I can say the same thing, Pedro. I was a Fulani. And then Tabaden do the our babai. Chebi our baba do Pedro, our Fulani, but I felt by independent. Our people there who so dot you. On will so dot you on ship everything in North. On to connect a loss in it's like I want our head that time should be at the bend the this. I'm sorry, they don't know what they are doing because Tabawo regiment it down people in she. Bawoni Fulani wanna go on Sinu. It's like Yoruba loss in North. Koloma fire, Koloma kidnapping. Kọ́lọ́ máa ṣe kí lórúkọ ẹ̀ ṣé àwọn ẹ̀ka yìí ní ojú máa ń tì mí sometimes.
Wọ́n ní kẹ́ gbóhùn sókè díẹ̀ bàbá wa.
Ojú máa ń tì mí sometimes pẹ̀lú nǹkan táwọn bàbá yìí ṣe. Ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn pípé kan ráìtì wà ní kí lórúkọ ẹ̀ wọ́n ní mi ìlè wa kú léwájú ilé bàbá ẹ̀ náà. Then tó bá ti joyè yìí o. That means you are a leader. You have to front in everything. Kiniko. No. Mr. Koki, my explain go for him. Ìgbà kan tí on pa Fulani, Buhari ò tí jẹ́ president ìgbà ẹ̀. On pa Fulani ní Ìbàdàn. Buhari travel láti wá defend the Fulani interest. Nínú gbogbo àwọn tó ń kidnap yẹn, wọ́n ní pé wọ́n kidnap o. Ìyàwó deputy governor Ondo State wọ́n ní wọ́n ti release ìyàwó yẹn ta ló kidnap ẹ̀ why you don't go after but ẹ lè kó bọ́ wá sílẹ̀ kíkẹ́ wá pa àwọn tó ń protest but you can't go after the kidnapper and Inspector General of Police. So you can be confident to go after the protester. You can't go after our kidnapper to one in Igbo. What kind of country is this? irú kọ́ńtì ò lélẹ̀ yìí and then gbogbo wọn dẹ̀ tún sáré káàkiri wọn á máa dágbádá wèrè káàkiri pé ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ àwọn kinní kan why can't you just ẹ wo fídíò every time tẹ bá ń pè fídíò obìnrin yẹn ó ní mo máa in a country wọ́n dẹ̀ rape èèyàn wọ́n rape ọmọ 9 years old and then eléyìí dẹ̀ continue ó dẹ̀ ń continue and then everybody and then we are living like it's a normal life. And then everybody we talking about amama ní Tinubu kan ló lè ṣe ama ní ẹ jẹ́ kí Tinubu ṣe kí Tinubu máa ṣe kí ni àwọn pípù yìí Fúlàní ó ti ní agenda àwọn ni pé everybody is going to be Fúlàní èmi tí mo ti travel lọ sí north tí èmi mo ṣe wà tí máa ń bá Haúsá Fúlàní tí máa ń bá Haúsá oníjẹjà tí Fúlàní Nàìjíríà bá dé bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n máa gún mi lọ́bẹ. So, we just need to wake up. We are not the same. What that became Kenyan ní Syria, Israel, and the United Kingdom go back in one country. It's not going to work. It's going to continue like this.
Thank you very much. All right. Let me now, thank you very much, to my caller, and let me now explain again. Do you know that these OIC, as powerful as they are giving backing to Kashmir? The dispute, the Organization of the Islamic Cooperation, OIC, has reiterated its strong and equivocal support for the dispute in Kashmir in resolution adopted in a Muslim bloc gathering in Niger, Pakistan said. Representative that Nigeria is also included. Member state attended the 2-day meeting that ended on Saturday, during which the OIC disclosed issues confronting the Muslims world. The situation in India-administered Kashmir was one of the session's main point of focus, with the Organization Islamic Cooperation Council of Foreign Affairs reaffirming strong support for Kashmir struggling for a region right to self-determination. Very good afternoon, Iwakweluewa. So now you can see these that I've highlighted. Now, what is Kashmir? Let's come back to it. Jammu and Kashmir was a region formerly administered by India as a state from 1954 to 2019, constituting the southern and the southern east portion of the largest Kashmir region, which has been the subject of a dispute between India, Pakistan, China since the mid-century. So now, as India continue to hold on to that, Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir, is now asking the OIC, just the same way Babangida took us down there, and now they become a supportive to Nigeria, and that is why Muhammad Buhari, dead or alive, is now giving way into Niger. Let's come back to this article. Buhari eventually released was an eye-opener to him. The challenges of the poor masses of his community who run to him on a daily basis for assistance was a burden for which he sought help to be able to help them. Buhari's integrity in this regard is a top-notch. He never hid this fact. He often said, I am seeking a democratic power to help my people. Is that the people in Nigeria or the people in Niger? He made successful attempt to make good his promises to gain power and better the lot of his people. After recording serial failure, he finally retired to faith, but not without recording a consistent 11 million votes who wanted him to be their democratically elected president, majority of whom are northern Muslims. Staring the nation in the face was his alleged cronies, nepotism, bigotry. It was so bad that his Christian cook, who is an Igbo man, became a campaign model, as if cooks are critical stakeholders of executive decisions. Nigerians now know better. Now, in 2014, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was looking for a way to oust the PDP, a northern candidate was relied upon to do the magic, projecting to take over from such a person. The 11 million electoral value of Muhammad Buhari found his political greed, which is today is a problem. Now, let me go further down. Where the heart of a man is, there will his treasury be invested. So when people do not understand that the reason why you are now seeing investment going into Niger is because from this article I'm reading, we know that Buhari's father is from Niger. So where the heart of a man is, ibi tí ọkùnrin bá wà, iná ẹ̀ náà ni treasury ẹ̀ ló máa gbé sí. So if Buhari were a musician, he would have sung the song of Marida as Peter Tosh did of Jamaica. If told that Buhari's umbilical cord was possibly buried in Maradi, many will not doubt it. His preference for Niger to Nigeria first became an open threat to every concerned Nigeria in Kano when two governors from Niger Republic graced his presidential campaign. Buhari, of course, won the 2019 election. Since then, all road and rail lead to Maradi in Niger Republic. The same Niger that just hosted just this Saturday, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. The OIC, coming back to this, categorically rejected illegal and unilateral actions taken by India since the 5th of August 2019. According to the Pakistan Foreign Office, do you know the population of those in Pakistan are Muslims? And like I said, this is an organization. Now, let me tell you something that will bust your head. Do you know that the way that these individuals from this map that I've looked at, the world data, also, they said the mother tongue of Nigeria, Yoruba. Has anybody seen this before? Because this is something that I don't know. How did we become Yoruba? Is that another name? I don't know. Maybe somebody knows. I saw that and I was like, how did we get to this where they call us? They are now giving us that in Nigeria, the population of Yoruba is 21.4%. Hausa is 21.1%. How come then we've allowed them to overshadow and run their affairs that should have been our own? Hausa, that is even much more than Fulani. Igbo, 18.1. Fula, 11.3. Ibibo, 5.6. Kanuri, 5.1. The same Kanuri where the father of Buhari married to a Kanuri woman. Edo, 3.3. Tiv, 2.3. So where did we get it wrong? Where did we allow those people to have now captured us because the selfish interest of some individuals? And you are now saying we should continue with one Nigeria. Wọ́n pè wá ní Yoruba, Joruba. Even though they say we are 21.4%, we are the majority, but we are like living the puppet life as we speak. Do you know from this record here, let me move this back. And this is the world data I'm looking at. Ibadan or your state have a population of 5.5 million as against Kano that is 2.8 million. But anytime we do election, they give us the impression that the population in the north is more bigger than the one in the south. Nigeria fraud constitution is the power of the Fulani. You're right, J.C. Lincoln. You can see where all this problem. So when somebody say, oh, we can beat them in an election, you are joking. You cannot beat them. They know that our population is bigger than them. We are bigger than them in numbers. but they have used the constitution as part of their crime against humanity to lock everybody in. I am asking myself, what is Yoruba? Joruba. Yes, we are the majority, my sister. You're right. We are in a big mess. And until we leave Nigeria, they have been brainwashed and turned into mom. Reading some of the comments. Think before you talk, my brother. He's doing his part. Respect. Okay, is somebody giving trouble there? Bashiru. Let me read back what that person is saying. Talk, talk, talk every time. We need action. Okay? All right. That's fine. He has the right to say what he's saying. That's what I say. They have always said that the Yoruba people, we talk, talk, talk. And I hope that person that said we need action is also ready to go down and fight when the fight starts. Because I'm going to go down. I will be down there. And I hope you that have also said that we are talking, talking, talking. I hope when the fight starts, and before the fight starts, I hope you are also preparing guys and men at the bottom right at home. We will never one zoo country called Nigeria. So when somebody says we are talking too much, I agree. He has the right to say so. But I also hope he's also preparing himself. It's not like maybe he's a diaspora or maybe he's in Nigeria. I don't know what country the person is. But I just want everybody to prepare that we will come out of Nigeria. And the question is, what has been the benefit of Nigeria with the OIC? They've given them all the support from Saudi Arabia. The same Saudi Arabia that a Yoruba man is going to pray to the God in Saudi Arabia, they have also used that to suppress the Yoruba people. Look at the percentage, 21.4 as against 21.1 in the north. We are not talking about the Fulani here. Hausa last so even though there's nothing called Hausa anymore because they've already eliminated as many Hausa people. The question now is, who is backing Nigeria from the OIC? What was the reason? This video, which I hope I will bring out now, might give us an answer to that. Remember that video? Oh, Etik Bagbe. And that might be my last video. I know my time is almost up. But let me see if I can get that video. Once again, a very good afternoon. Nigeria at the verge of breakup. We all have a role to play. And this is a platform. We do take different comments and don't get upset. Sometimes maybe somebody says something. Don't get upset with it. Let us remain focused. I want to see if I can get a video up. That's if I've got that video stored somewhere. And I hope I do. I've seen that one before already. That's not the video I'm looking for. Once again, the time is exactly 4 o'clock. The video I'm looking for. All right, let's take some of these ones. But the one I'm really looking for is where we had these. All right, let's take this one.
The summary of it. The summary of it is that we cannot run away from this stark reality that Nigeria has to be restructured. Whether it is the restructuring that gives more powers to states or a return to the regional arrangement of the past, or the restructuring that allows parts of the country that want to go and stand as independent nation, whatever that restructuring means, we must not run away from it. And our position as bishop, and I must say now, I'm carrying you along as a diocese, is that if we continue to pretend that all is well, we will keep bleeding profusely. And very soon, there might be nothing called Nigeria. Instead of our killing ourselves under the pretext of remaining one indivisible nation, some people say Nigeria's unity is non-negotiable. I want to say it is negotiable. This thing is like marriage. You don't force two people to get married. We have been forced into a marriage that is hurting us. And every day we are dying and pretending to be one. Please, instead of our killing ourselves, and there will be no Nigeria left, let us come to a round table like this. Bring Nigeria as a cake. Bring one big knife and share the cake. Share the cake. Share the cake.
My name is Olayomi Koiki. We will come back more on that OIC. Let's stop it today, this Sunday afternoon. And let me change my scene while I now start closing, the broadcast. Let us think. Let us understand that we are not just saying we should break Nigeria for anything more than another problem. We are saying and hope that when we break up Nigeria, we will not be in that situation where we are being controlled by one powerful organization called OIC. Do they have the same value for the Christian in the country? Does the OIC that Nigeria have sat under have the same soft heart for the Christian in Nigeria? So when the Christians say, oh, you are talking about Oduduwa because you don't like that image, the question is, does the Fulani cares about you? So when people say, oh, we don't like the way you are presenting, or you don't understand what we are talking about, but you understand that Nigeria is also working towards becoming like Saudi Arabia. Have you thought about that? The stronger the unity of this OIC, the more strength. The video I really wanted to play to finish it off, which is the pastor, but I don't know where that video is. And I don't want to hold myself too long. When she was telling us, I'm sure you remember that video, when she was telling us about how, oh, okay, I think I've seen it.
By Adamu Mohammed.
Let's watch this.
He even writes his name. He doesn't hide himself. This one is too bold and blunt. Ever since President Muhammad Buhari took over the mantle of leadership of this great country, Nigeria, we Hausa Fulani have come under severe media attack from enemy of progress. That means he has been standing on their way. Do you know what that means? God has started working among them. He agreed before he get there, but God puts confusion in their midst. But that confusion is not.
Let me ask us, what did they agree on? Can you agree? What was the agreement that when Buhari gets to power, it will give more leeway towards the Islamization, towards getting us into that contraction with the OIC?
Yet, okay, we need more. Because it is God that touched him to delay. If not so, our budget, you see how the man delay this, delay that. Because the assignment given to him, what Nigeria is expecting is different to the assignment on his table. Some people say the man is slow. The man, no. What he's facing is different to what we are talking. Are you telling me he doesn't have power to control fuel? He has power. But with who? At the time, Bob scatter everywhere. Kill all the manager and the director and the company. I will see who will employ you. Whether or not dead body will come employ you from the grave. At the time, Bob scatter everywhere. Kill all the manager and the director and the company. I will see who will employ you. Whether or not dead body will come employ you from the grave. But let me make something clear. Change anything. We are who we are. And we will continue to remain like that. We hate you even more. And we can never love you because you are all evidence. And you know, the people they call evidence, anybody that did not follow is an evidence to them. I pity those of you who keep deluding yourself that we can love and trust you. Simply because you work against your people to our own advantage. Imagine that statement. He said he pity those people that they are giving their information, helping them, and supporting them to destroy this nation. He said no matter how you support them, we still hate you. He's talking about Tinubu. No, there's no way a Yoruba man will be a faithful Muslim.
This video was in 2016. When it gets to where I want to respond, I will come back and I'll post that video and then we can do the closing remark.
That's an evidence to them. Because you are Yoruba. They say even though you work against your people to our own advantage, yet we hate you. Can you hear that? They are the people that you can't say, you can't beg. That thing called mercy is far away from them. Many of you have this message. You will forward it to your brothers and sisters. You will keep it to yourself. And you will say it is well with you. It is not well at all anywhere. Nothing is well this time. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. Nothing is well. I imagine if our leader will read this and keep quiet. I heard that the stupid governor of Oyo State, Ajumobi, said that they won't accept the proposed grassy bill. That means they have passed this bill to all governors. Only Oyo State governor reject it. Among all the governors, only Oyo State governor reject it. All the remaining governors as accept. Why? Because it's at the expense of their life. They will try to kill them. They even say that they will bring cow into the church, and if they try to stop them, they will kill you. I will read it now. But my message to that VT Yoruba pig is that if you don't want to give us your cursed land, we will rear our cattle not only on your farmland, but in your churches. And if you try to stop us, we will kill your chicken, your hearted men like rabbits, and then turn your mother's wife, sister, daughter to our sex slave like we have been doing. He said, if we bring cow into your church and you try to stop us, we will kill all the men and we will turn all the women to sex slave. You remember he said the land is a cursed land, Yoruba land. Yes, it is cursed. Because one of our fathers caused us that we will never be united. And this is the secret in their hand. That we will never be united. He even said it. He said we are betrayers. Let me read it for you. He said, it is either you give the whole of South to us to use as grazing service, or we soak it with your blood. And what you will do, like you always do, is noise on Facebook and Twitter. You see, they have discovered us. They say, there's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is to make noise on Facebook and Twitter. Have you ever seen anywhere Yoruba gather and say, if Biafra people, they try. They even gather to make war. Have you ever heard anything from Yoruba? You cannot be united against us. Who will in your midst, who will divide you for selfishness and love money? Do you know the reason why they sponsor them? Is because they promise them that if we take over, you will be one of the lion's share of the oil. So you'll be one of the lion's share. So all the money you spend, it will give you back. In fact, OIC will pay you back. That is why they are selling us. And you will never see any of their children around.
Did you hear what she said? She mentioned OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation. I'll put a stop here today. We will continue to focus on the total amalgamation, breakup, whether we go peacefully, whether we are going to fight, whether we become like Ethiopia that you have. Look, the way you are seeing Ethiopia, you might see Nigeria in that area, but at least we know the end result of it. There will never be anything called Nigeria again. Have a very good afternoon. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thank you everyone that have joined. Happy Sunday. We will continue to get the message out on a daily basis. We are transmitting to 11 channels. Find time to go to different of those channels and distribute the message to different places. Our DVD is still an ongoing project. Even the audio should be out next week as well. We will continue to make sure that we are preparing. If you are interested to prepare, and I know what you're saying, and you are sure, reach out to me. Let's talk. If you are sure you are a man and you are prepared, I'm not talking about any other thing. If you are prepared, get in touch with me, and you will understand that the game has just started. The game to end Nigeria before 2023. This is not a joke. Nigeria will not hold another election, and it can go bust in flames before 2023. I can assure you that, whether you believe it or not. But you will see it, you will hear it, you will smell it. Those of you in the north, again, make your way back. If anybody say Nigeria will not break, tell them that this guy sitting here said to them, Nigeria will break. Continue to watch Ethiopia. It looks like a movie. Abibeko, you will see international news start reporting the same way, like that, very, very soon. Have a blessed Sunday. All the names, but I appreciate everyone that have joined the broadcast. Tell your family at home to stock up as much as they can with dry food. It will get hot very, very soon. This is not a joke. I'm giving you the warning. It's getting closer.
Iléyá, Iléyá òdòrò mọ́ Iléyá wa ọ̀nà.
Ẹkùn pọ̀mọ́ Adéṣeyà káwọ́ lẹ́rọ̀, ó bá gbọ́mọ ọba o, ariwo wọ́n ta.
Iléyá, Iléyá òdòrò mọ́ Iléyá wa ọ̀nà.
Gbogbo ẹ̀yin gómìnà South West pátá, ẹ má wò wá níran, ẹ bá wa dé sí i.
Iléyá, Iléyá òdòrò mọ́ Iléyá wa ọ̀nà.
Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátá, ẹ má mọ̀ dáwọ̀dọ̀ o, ẹ bá wa dé sí i.
Iléyá,
Ó ti yá.
Iléyá òdòrò mọ́ Iléyá wa ọ̀nà.
Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ má wò wá níran o, ẹ bá wa dé sí i.
Iléyá,
Ó ti yá.
Iléyá òdòrò mọ́ Iléyá wa ọ̀nà.
Ṣé Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho, Professor Verge o, ẹ bá wa dé sí i.
Iléyá,
Ó ti yá.
Iléyá òdòrò mọ́ Iléyá wa ọ̀nà.
Gbogbo ẹ̀yin Socio-political group pátá, ẹ má jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ yín o, ẹ jẹ́ àjọṣe o.
Iléyá, Iléyá òdòrò mọ́ Iléyá wa ọ̀nà.
Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá nílé ní diaspora, ẹ má jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ wa o, ẹ jẹ́ àjọṣe o.
Iléyá,
Ó ti yá.
Iléyá òdòrò mọ́ Iléyá wa.
Mùsùlùmí Kìrìsìtẹ́nì ẹlẹ́sìn àbáláyé, ẹ má jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ wa o, ẹ jẹ́ àjọṣe o.
Iléyá, Iléyá òdòrò mọ́ Iléyá wa ọ̀nà.
Iléyá o, Iléyá o, Iléyá wa ọ̀nà.
Iléyá, Iléyá òdòrò mọ́ Iléyá wa ọ̀nà.
Ilé ti yá, ilé ti yá, Iléyá wa ọ̀nà nítorí o.
Iléyá, Iléyá òdòrò mọ́ Iléyá wa ọ̀nà.
It's Amori Oduduwa on the mic.
Fake military anywhere. Now, Odudua people wanna go. Biafra people wanna go. Location 419 need to break for freedom, 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 freedom. We need the freedom. Freedom, 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 freedom. Kusina kusomi kusonja kusana kusisi kari tibili tabili si ha. Free education and audio. Good security na one chance. Over 100 million people don't poor. All my nigga need a job, they know they see work. They want to go to farm, full and near attack. Don't give me any fucking reason why we no go. Even many people say they wanna go. Freedom, 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 freedom. Freedom, 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 freedom. Tó bá gbàgbọ́ nínú Oòduà Republic, ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ and fighting. So kí ọjọ́ alẹ́ wa kó lè dùjọ́ yìí, ẹ dìde ọmọ Odùduwà, ẹ ti sọ́kò kéèké. You're British, you came to Africa to come and enslave us, and you call it colonization. You join four nations together, and you call it one Nigeria. We tell you we are one, when only Yoruba never get themselves right. But you join us together, even with the people who never think like us. And since then, you damage our culture, you damage our language, and you damage our way of life. Just because of your whole greediness. The 419 amalgamation has expired since 2014. Come to Nigeria. Come and separate what you match together as one. We are not one. We can never be one. We don't have the same culture. We don't speak the same language. We just came out from nowhere and match us together. Who make it God over us? We don't know anything about us. We just come out from nowhere and match us together. Since then, we never get it right. Nigeria, you know Yoruba every day. As you put it on, and you have to tell Baba yìí. Amalgamation 419 expire. Ó ti expire láti 2014. So, IG, Emasu, àsìkò ti tó láti jà fún ẹ̀tọ́ ilẹ̀ bàbá yín. A fool at 60 is a fool forever. Ẹ má sùn.